and welcome to Leaders of Tomorrow Season 10. 10 seasons of empowering small businesses such as yourself by hand-holding you and guiding you in your growth journey. I'm Sananda Jayaseelan. It gives me great pleasure to announce the starting of a new series that we're doing here on the Leaders of Tomorrow, a series of conversations with India's youth across the country, asking them what's top of mind and bringing to them experts who will talk to them on career, on entrepreneurship, and anything else that they may feel is top of mind and is of most interest to them. We're starting this series with this conversation we're bringing to you tonight from Mumbai, from the Atlas SkillTech University. 3 experts, one from the field of education and 2 very young and highly popular content creators, to talk to us on the overarching theme we have for this campus here in Mumbai, which is how jobs are changing and what those jobs of the future are looking like. Let me dive right in and introduce our speakers. Siddharth Shahani, Executive President and Co-founder, Atlas SkillTech University. Raj Shamani, Digital Content Creator, Investor, Entrepreneur and Podcaster. Shivangi Sharma, Digital Content Creator, Beauty Influencer, Co-founder, House of Shaarom. This is part 2 of our Leaders of Tomorrow Hangout edition. We're coming to you from the Atlas SkillTech University in Mumbai. In this part, we're discussing, amongst other things, the importance of innovation and how an entrepreneur and the content creators really continue innovating and staying relevant. We're also talking, amongst other things, about whether it is important to have a side hustle or a side gig, and just really about this entire hustle culture, the so-called hustle culture. What did our content creators and our experts have to say? Listen.
Hello panelists, my name is Afreen Kasmani and this question has purely stemmed out of this discussion. What I am very curious to know is Mr. Shahani mentioned about creating an entrepreneurial mindset. You two are the leaders of today and we are discussing the leaders of tomorrow. So how does one keep the going attitude and how to deal with the debacle scenario and stay relevant with the audience? Thank you.
So I'll tell you something. There will be times, like especially when you are a content creator, when you're just starting out, and the first year is a struggle. Like there will be disappointments. There will be times where you'll feel like, why are you doing this? You should stop. Why are you putting in so much of effort and not getting anything in return? But that is the risk that you have to take if you really want to build on it. You have to be ready for disappointments and obstacles. They honestly, they do come, but they do not last long. Because if you love doing what you do, you will keep at it, even with all the disappointments and everything. And as a content creator, you also have to reinvent yourself. So once you are in the scene, once you are in the game, you do see what others are doing and what's working for them. And you take inspiration from a lot of people as well. I'm not saying that you copy content, but you get an idea of what you enjoy. And once you exactly know what you want to do, it comes to you. It's something that you yourself start working on. You want to learn more, and you want to, even with the disappointments and everything, it's addictive. Like you really want to do it even then. So that's how my experience has been. Like for the first year when we started, like we were not earning anything out of content creation. It was just a lot of work and no money at all. And it was really disappointing at times. Like I would sit and think that what am I doing with my life? Like why am I doing this? But it was also something which I loved. I loved creating content. I loved editing. I loved each and every aspect of content creation. So that kept me going. So if you truly love it, it will really keep you going. And then there are obviously there's so many things that you'll also learn along the way. Like that's worked for me.
That's what's worked for you. How about you, Raj?
Okay, so I have a slight different opinion on this. I think all of us, like as content creators today, because the limelight is on us all of a sudden, I feel we have over dramatized the concept that, hey, it's very difficult, we have to work hard, and then there are low times and this and that. No, I'll tell you, low times are in every career, right? You will be irrelevant in every career. Whether you're an entrepreneur, creator, actor, job person, we all have a product life cycle, just like every product, right? It's not. Content creators grow fast, that's why they go down fast. Anything which comes easy goes fast easy, okay? So it's the fact, it's how the universe works. So it's like, don't say that hey, just because you're a content creator you need to work harder, or just because you're an entrepreneur you need to work harder. In every field you have to do that. Now the question comes, how do you stay relevant, right? Number one is what he said, like go look out for the jobs which are really getting paid. I said don't look out for jobs. And the only reason why I say this, because the moment you turn yourself into something that, hey, this is the trend I want to work towards to, by the time you become really good at that trend, the trend goes away. So here's a theory which I've built for myself, which is called circles of life. So what am I good at? Let's say I am good at storytelling. I'm interested in storytelling. Out of 130 crore people, let's say 10 crore people are good at storytelling. So I've already reduced my competitor. Okay, out of 10 crore, now I'm storyteller. In storyteller, I'm interested in business stories. Okay, how many people are interested in business stories? 1 crore? Great. I'm only interested in people who have built billion-dollar empires. How many people are there who have built billion-dollar empires in India? 103. So how do I, now my competition becomes like, I've reduced it. So I'm a storyteller, 1 circle. I love business, 2nd circle. I only interested in the growth of unicorns, 3rd circle. Probably I'm only competing with 10 people. Now I'm only competing with 10 people in the world of 130 crore people. There'll be a lot of people interested in it, but they want to do that. So this becomes my niche. I start working towards this. Now how do I work towards this is, the concept and the fundamental to win any business is very simple. You just need to work on fundamentals and then get really good at your art. So I need to getting good at entrepreneurial stories, growth and storytelling. But the fundamental is, how do I understand human behavior? How do I understand the economic life cycles of the economy of the countries? How do I understand change of power? How do I understand the attention span? Where do people spend their time? Where do people spend their money? So it's the basic things which everybody needs to learn. On top of that, you just build it on the base of your circle. Now that's how you build your niche. So you become a leader of tomorrow. This is how, because you choose your life of circles. That is one. And how do you stay relevant? How do you keep going forever? It's what's the alternative? Do you want to be irrelevant, or do you want to keep trying? So the alternative is, you decide your alternative. So there's nobody can come here and tell you some mantra ki, hey, this is how you keep going. Because nobody knows, because we also don't know whether tomorrow we'll keep going or no. And I've sat with like a lot of people. So, okay, so my childhood hero was Richard Branson. And I met him in Boston and asked him this question I asked him like very difficult question, like, how do you make sure that today you are planning to go to space and starting a space tourism? How do you plan that today I take a flight directly from Boston to space? Like, when does this happen? He's like, I'm figuring out. I'm like, dude, you claim you have a vision that you're going to make this possible and you're figuring out. Like, you've raised funds for this. And he's like, that's what everybody's doing. So technically, we all are winging it. There's no alternative. You decide your alternative. It's like, do you want to keep going or no? It's your question. Nobody can give you like a trick or tip for that. You have an answer.
Honestly, if you really love it, you will keep going. That's what.
You know, thank you. I also want to just talk about adversity, because all of us will face, you talked about failure and adversity. Now, you know, this may be, some wise man said, now I can't figure out his name today, but you know, I have this formula. You said there are no formulas, but there's a 2 by 2 by 2 formula, right? I think when you get hit by adversity, your first 2 days are going to be like, oh my God, what happened to me, right? And that's fine. And I think you should keep taking time to figure out what's happening to you. hopefully by the time you reach your 2 months, right, so your 2 days, you're figuring out, oh my God, what happened to me? What did I do? What went wrong? Because all of us will face it. Trust me, we will get hit by adversity. You will not even know when that comes. By the time you've spent 2 months in that situation, you'll figure out a plan, right? You'll say, okay, this is what happened to me. This is what I want to now do. These are my alternatives. It's okay to take time. You see, we're on this treadmill where we think every day counts, every moment counts, and if we don't do something, we're going to fall. But that's not true. And it's going to take you almost 2 years to get out of that situation. So I think patience, so one is conviction and second is patience is very, very important, right? Whatever you do, these two characteristics you have to keep with you because you have to remain resilient, right? Challenges are not only monetary, they may be personal as well, they may be health as well, right? So we have to look at all of those things as we get through life. So I think that's important for, the youth of today too.
And it's so important as an entrepreneur to always have this in mind,
Yes.
that you will face challenges,
Yes.
but you have to keep
Yes.
going. We're running out of time.
And sorry, each challenge will be worse than your previous challenge. Please remember, it doesn't get easier.
It never gets
easier.
Okay. So we're running out of time.
Can I just say one line in the end? Don't think about challenge until you face one. Because we have been blessed, let's be honest, our generation is blessed with technology and every new opportunity every next year, right? So let's not think about challenges. The day it comes, then we're going to think about it. Then let our 2 days start on the day we get hit, not today.
I'll take a quick break on that note. It's time for a commercial break. We're back in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. You're with us here on Leaders of Tomorrow. This is a very special edition that we've started here on the 10th edition that we're calling the Leaders of Tomorrow Hangout, talking about what matters the most to India's youth. Any last questions that we can take?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Raj Shamani and from the BBA course, Entrepreneurship and Management. And I had a question to Raj. I wanted to ask you that, in today's time, having a startup and being an entrepreneur, it's such a trend, everyone wants to do it, everyone is doing it. So my question to you is that there are so many startups that are looking for investors and are looking for funding. And you initially, when you came, you told us that you're into investing. So my question to you is that for all these startups who are struggling to find investors and to find funding, what would you like to tell them?
So funding is an art. It's genuinely the more people I've spoken to, it's a crazy thing to do. It's not everybody's cup of tea, right? And I'm in a process of funding where I just don't want to just know about it. I want to go through it myself because I'm building a new company. And for that, I'm going through fundraise and I'm going through it myself. One thing which I've realized out of my experience is people who go with this mindset that, hey, I need money, they don't get money. Because you're automatically going in the request mode. People who end up getting money are the ones who go to the investor and say hey, you know what? I have an opportunity which you might miss on. So every time you present an opportunity, your chances of getting money is higher versus you go and be hey, I need cash to survive and become a big. So the moment you say somebody, hey, please help me because I will make it big, I have the potential, my product is it, nobody cares. You tell people that you're missing out of this. What is index giving you? 12% at max? What is peer-to-peer lending is giving you? 24% at max, right? The only thing which might give you 100x or 1000x is a startup, and here's an opportunity to turn your $1 million into $1 billion. So the moment you go with that opportunity, you end up raising more. This is the only thing which I've seen till now. The more I get into it, probably I'll have more views to it.
Okay. Just very briefly, before we end, we also have a segment that we do on the Leaders of Tomorrow show where we talk about investments and investing for no matter what stage of life you may be in, no matter, you're a student, you are say male, female, and we bring different perspectives. You also, you talk about investments. So anyone here have any questions on, anyone is investing already? You're investing already.
So my question is to all the panelists. I'm working on a newsletter currently, and the topic of that newsletter is invest in your freedom. And the subtopics are importance of passive income and power of early age investing. So I want to know from you all what is, and like Mr. Raj mentioned that he started investing at the age of 18. So what is the power of early age investing, and how can one benefit from that to build a financial corpus?
See, if you don't have time, full time to be an active investor, don't be. It's completely okay. Just put your money in index forever. Like just give like start an SIP and let it go. And 30 years later, all of a sudden, oh my God, crores, right? Like that's the safest way to go about it. Like don't get into it if you really don't understand it, if you don't have time for it, because what's the point? In fact, I was reading this study. It was done in US, not in India, by an NYU professor, which says that 90% of active investors on a span of 50 years, they end up making lesser than index. So what's the point? Like, so it's only like 10% people who really get it. So the point is, if you don't want to become an investor, just start an index. In fact, there's an app called Decimal. Okay. So what Decimal does is for students, you can choose like an index fund. Every time you spend, let's say you order something from Swiggy. So you order like 220 rupee ka order from Swiggy, it'll automatically invest 30 rupees in your index fund. So every time you spend, you round up your investing and then they put it in index. So you don't even feel guilty about spending and you invest like a bit of it. And then one day whenever you want to start like proper investing, you can start by putting like 500, 1000, 2000 as your SIP and keep doing it forever. Make it like simple rule. So this is I have a rule. 70% of whatever I make go to investments. So let's say 10% is directly going to mutual funds. 20% is directly going to the PMS which I'm building. So something like this, like make an investing plan for yourself. And the moment you get a salary, just automatically park it there instead of thinking of going full time on it.
Okay.
Like that's
so, but invest small if needed, invest early.
Invest like today itself, but the safest bet is invest in the country, not invest in specific things. Index is technically you're betting on country, right? You're working in India, you're building in India, you obviously trust India, that's why you're here, right? Or else you'll just get out of here. So if you're trusting here, then you'd rather invest just in India. So India, the safest way is doing it through index.
Sure, but stay invested for the long term.
Very long term. Like just keep investing for rest of the life.
Yeah, unless you're doing it actively, stay invested. Any other investment, anyone here who's investing, perhaps, okay. So then this is a captive audience that we have. All right, any other questions? Maybe you can squeeze in one last question. Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, good afternoon everyone. I'm Ruth D'Souza and I'm currently in my second year MBA pursuing finance. My question is directed to the entire panel. What is your opinion on hustle culture and what has led to multiple people adopting a side hustle? Is it a fad or is it here for a long run?
So, like hustle culture, honestly, I do personally believe that it is a fad. And, everyone works hard. Everyone, like this hustle, this term is relatively new. And everyone works hard in life, and probably what my parents did back then was their hustle. So, what I believe in that it is very important, especially in today's times, to have at least a bit of balance, because with social media and everything, you see so many people growing super fast in life and it can get to you and you will feel like that you're falling behind, and then you'll be like, okay, I need to work double than what I'm like. That is not the kind of mindset which works in the longer term. Like it harms your health, it harms your mental health, and it just does not work. At least for me, it doesn't. So the thing is that you absorb everything and then you make a plan for yourself which you can actually do, which you are comfortable with. Like definitely step out of your comfort zone, but don't kill yourself for it. Like that's what I mean.
your question was also about having 2 or 3 side jobs.
So I can address that.
Yeah.
So I think I believe hustle has been around forever, because I think it's just a in vogue term for something that everyone has been doing, right? You work hard, you try and do the best you can, and that's what hustle is, and that's what people have been doing for generations. In terms of side hustles, somewhere I believe that it'll catch up with you, right? If your focus is split, you're going to suffer in one or the other, right? So either you say, okay, I'm a freelancer and I'm going to be in the gig economy and I'm going to do 2-3 gigs and that's how I'm going to build my life, that's fine. I don't think you can have one professional day job and then have another night job, because somewhere or the other it will catch up with you, right? Neither will you do well in your day job, neither will you do in your life. So I think you have to take a mental decision. I'm going to be doing multiple trades, or I'm going to excel in one area. I think it's a conscious decision that needs to be taken, because especially during COVID, we have seen, with the work from home culture, a lot of people saying I can do something else, but it shows in performance. It's very clear that, these people are either distracted or they have something else going on. And very often we've seen is that they get passed over for other people who have been very focused on their job. So, it's a conscious decision that one should take when they're looking at what to do.
Can I add? Can I add? Okay, so this is what I believe in. Like, I love reading about a lot of people who have achieved massive success in life. And I've noticed one pattern is that nobody achieved something extraordinary by being balanced. They all were obsessed about something, okay? Now, quote me wrong or quote me anything, but you can go and history has said it, I'm not making it up. So if you want to do something extraordinary, you got to be obsessed with it. But there's a model which I've built for myself. Do something, work until your necessities are being made, and then work until your love is fulfilled. So the game is, you go up, you get up, and then for 8 hours, 6 hours, 10 hours, whatever your work life is, you work until your basic necessities are getting fulfilled. And then you start working on something you love. And that might get over in 1 hour, that might get over in 26 hours, that might get over in 2 hours, 2 minutes, whatever. So the point is, keep doing something you love, and you do that until your love starts giving you more income or more joy or more stability than something which is necessary to do it. So I think everybody needs to start with doing something necessary so that we can pay the bills. And as a side job, you can start doing something you love. And once your love takes over, you can completely leave the necessary thing, because then you'll only be operating from the place of love. And when you start operating from the place of love, you stop thinking about time.
Fantastic. Thank you all for all the questions that you asked us. It's been fantastic. And of course, thank you to this panel and for taking the time.
Thank you very much. Thank you, all of you. Thank you.
Out of time on this edition, where we've come to you from Mumbai. If you want us to come to your city or your university, do let us know. Our contact details are on your screens as we speak. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.